Stellaris, balance and quality of life improvements. That's gonna be a good dev diary 221. You'll see, because it's about a lot. It's about first Void Dwellers, Shattered Ring Worlds. Ooh, it's about Ecumenopolis, quality of life changes that are really nice. Other assorted quality of life changes. Subversive cults, changes to all civics that were not as good, and some really, really minor nerfs. So let's get started with the Void Dwellers. The Void Dwellers have been, I would say, improved, because there's now only a single Void Dweller trait. So it cannot be exploited anymore via genetic modification of the species, so it cannot be removed genetically anymore. Which is so-so. So you can remove it, but then you lose also the positives, probably. The modifiers on the trait itself have changed. Previously it gave 15% more resources from worker and specialist jobs, minus 10% growth speed for the positive version, and 60% growth speed for the negative version. The new complete version of the trait is now only minus 10% growth speed, and 15% more pop resource output on habitats, 15% less pop resource output on non-artificial worlds. Which means on ring worlds it will be normal production, right? And minus 30% happiness on non-artificial worlds. So in ring worlds and habitats they are kind of normal, they feel well. And on normal planets they don't want that. They don't want that. So if you have planets, you best send robots there or immigrants. Then we have the Shattered Ring World. The Shattered Ring World has also changed in all kinds of things. It's new districts all around. And for example, research districts are missing, kind of cutting that famous research superpower start off. But there's things to make up for it. So, the Shattered Ring itself now supports the following district types: City, Hive, Nexus, Housing depending on Empire type, Industrial, where valuable consumer goods and alloys can be manufactured, Trade, where clerks turn a tidy profit and artisans run their workshops, Generator, where hive minds and machine intelligence power their infrastructure. Generator and Trade districts swap depending on the owner of the Shattered Ring, much like commercial and generator segments on the Ring World. Agricultural, where food is grown for those that eat it, and mining. That's new. And that's really handy, because you have 25 of these districts available, so like a very big planet. And these mining districts, what are you mining? You're mining the ring itself, so the broken elements of the ring you mine, and you have 2 scrap miner jobs for that give 5 minerals and 3 alloys for the 2 jobs that we see here. So, replaces the regular miner jobs with scrap miner jobs with a base job output of 2 minerals and 1 alloy per month. That helps with repairing the Shattered Ring once upon a time, or having a fleet, or not a total scarcity of minerals at the start. Repairing the Shattered Ring makes the ring world to a normal, fully functioning ring world segment, but it costs 10,000 alloys, and you need to clear all the blockers, and you need to have mega engineering. Upon completion, the districts on the Shattered Ring are upgraded into their respective ring world district at a 5:1 ratio, so 5 agricultural districts, for example, become 1 agricultural segment. Fixing up the ring means you will no longer be clearing out material. Mining districts are removed. Ability to construct research segments instead is added. So it's transformed into a real ring world, not that like that outpost that you had there. And there's also changes to the Ecumenopolis. The Ecumenopolis has the big advantage to being a very, very specialized world for advanced products, I'd say. So either alloys or consumer goods. So if you transform something, you will now have to see how you designate the world. You designate the world at this little thing, you say what kind of world should that be, and with a foundry world designation, industrial districts will convert into foundry ecologies at a 2:1 ratio. Factory world designation, industrial districts will convert into factory ecologies. at a 2.1 ratio. So you can also, while it's transforming, you can already specialize it. Any other designation, including the industrial world designation, industrial districts will convert into both foundry and factory arcologies at a 4:1:1 ratio. So you, for 4 industrial districts, you will get 1 foundry and 1 factory arcology. So it will split up. It will be unspecialized still. As you can see here, that's normal relic world Earth, if you take that start, with, as you can see, robots here, and that's the big thing. And then you can transform it into an Ecumenopolis. And there's something special, and that's why they're showing the robots here for the rogue servitors there. That's this district. That is the leisure arcologies normally, and that is now repurposed for housing biotrophies in luxurious towering arcologies. And what are these? The so-called sanctuary arcologies give 15 biotrophy jobs. That's quite a lot. What will they do? They will turn consumer goods into Unity and also increase complex drone output, as you can see. So you can make complex drones quicker on these planets. Approximate production, as you can see, with the 15 jobs is 28 Unity, 15% more complex drone output, and 15 less housing, because you need, of course, the people to work there. And that comes in really handy. I think that's a very fun thing, and maybe we can play Rogue Servitors again in a very, very fun game, I would say. But there's other things that really are luring us into the game, back into the game, because some civics have been really changed, and there's these other quality of life changes. So there are industrial worlds as a new designation for a world. Instead of the factory world is now what consumer goods does, and forge world is of course still alloys, but industrial world is a new mixed thing. What it does is reduce artisan upkeep and metallurgist upkeep by 10%, and industrial district build speed is increased by 25%. Both Hive worlds and machine worlds have also gained an additional bonus to bring them more in line with Gaia worlds. Another change. Hive worlds now have 1 more innate spawning drone job, and machine worlds now have 1 more innate replicator job. Machine world given by the resource consolidation origin starts with a blocker which will need to be cleared to unlock said replicator job that you can see here. So there's a replicator job added, there's a spawning drone job added. So there's good growth to be had with these as well now. And there's something very funny. Subversive cults, megacorps with both Gospel of the Masses and Criminal Syndicate, no longer have access to the Temple of Prosperity. But instead, they can now establish a subversive shrine in their branch offices, increasing both spiritualist ethics attraction and also crime on the planet. As you can see, gives 2 prosperity preacher jobs, which gives spiritualist ethics attraction plus 25% and crime plus 25. Also, they produce 3 Unity, 6 amenities, and 10 trade goods. That will be, I think, a very good buff for these. And it's also, I like also the building design. It reminds me of the very old game Syndicate, where you had some kind of topic that belonged to that. And then we come to the changes of the civics. As you can see here, there's a lot of changes for civics. So it's mainly buffs, but there's also some small nerfs. For the regular empires, Beacon of Liberty gave 15% produced Unity, now also gives minus 15% Empire Sprawl from Pops. So this is an ideal thing for wide empires. It helps you a lot when your Empire Sprawl from Pops goes up. Like if you want to have a lot of population, this is now a very good pick, because it not only gives you more Unity to make up for maybe an Empire Sprawl, it also inhibits the Empire Sprawl a little bit with 15% less from Pops. Imperial Cult gave 1 more Edict Cap, now gives 2 more Edict Cap, which is exceptionally good. 2 more edicts, that's really nice. That's just really nice. That's just like an Ascension perk, right? Idealistic Foundation gave 5% happiness, now gives 10% happiness. That was a really, really good buff. It's still not unbalanced, but it is just a good buff. Because 5% happiness was like meh. And now it's good. Environmentalist gave -10% consumer goods upkeep, now gives -20% consumer goods upkeep, which now really has an influence, that a measurable one that you can really feel. Parliamentary system gave 25% more faction influence, now gives 40% more faction influence, which is also, that's a really big buff. That's really, really good. I mean, that will increase your influence so much. If you make an influence-based empire, that's a good choice now. Efficient bureaucracy gave 10% more admin cap, now gives 20% more admin cap. That's also good. Because 10% was like the 5% happiness. It was kind of meh. Nationalistic Zeal gave -10% war exhaustion gain, -10% claim cost, now gives -20% war exhaustion gain and -15% claim cost. So, if you want to go and take the galaxy, take Nationalistic Zeal. Functional architecture gave -10% building and district cost, and also upkeep, and 1 building slot now gives -15% building and district cost, and 2 building slots even, but the upkeep reduction is removed. Which is cool with me. I mean, everybody needs upkeep, proper upkeep. Also, buildings that are a little bit more efficient. Hive mines. Subspace Ephapse gave 15% more naval capacity, now it gives 20% ship speed and also gives 15% naval capacity, which is exceptionally good because, especially in the endgame, 20% ship speed, you cannot get that from repeatable techs. And so it is just incredibly good. Divided attention gave 10% admin cap, now gives 20% admin cap. Like above. And the Constructobots from the machine intelligences also gave -10% building and district cost and upkeep. And 1 building slot now gives respectively 15% building district cost, 2 building slots, and upkeep reduction removed. These civics are a breath of fresh air. Yeah, it's definitely the case that more empires become playable even in multiplayer. And it gives you some new ideas, it lures you in. Also, there's some minor buffs like the slaver guilds, reduced enslaved population from 40 to 35%, and the respective civic from Megacorps, reduced enslaved population from 40 to 35% for indentured assets. That's not that harsh of a nerf. And the Technocracy, that's a little bit more problematic. Added 1 consumer goods upkeep to scientist jobs that create unity because of Technocracy. But I mean, it pays for its advantage. So, it's definitely not a bad thing to have Technocracy still. It's definitely a good thing still. But they wanted to nerf like the whole technology game a bit, which makes the AI very often left behind in shambles. And so, it's a little bit harder now to play a Technocracy, but it's still a good thing. Thank you for watching and happy gaming to you. One of my favorite things here, I mean, what is your favorite thing? One of my favorite things that I want to try out is definitely the reworked Ring World, or also the Rogue Servitors. I really want to play Rogue Servitors again. It's such a unique playstyle, and to combine that with Ecumenopolis, and you get some really, really interesting playstyle now. So thank you for watching and happy gaming to you. Have a great time until next time, and happy gaming. This is Immanuel Can signing out.